Well, good morning, everybody. Joining you from the road. We are somewhere in Indiana, east of Indianapolis by maybe 50 miles, 60 miles, something like that. It was raining a little this morning, so I didn't have the helmet cam on just because it's not waterproof when you hook the mic into it. So it looks like it's cleared up now, though, so we should be good. And we have a little under 4 hours left. We're going to Chicago today. We're going to see a game at Wrigley tonight, Red Sox Cubs, which should be amazing. We're going to see them again tomorrow, which is Sunday. Day game at Wrigley, Red Sox Cubs, which I'm also very excited about. I think a day game at Wrigley is a bucket list sort of item. I haven't been to Chicago in, I don't know, 10, 11 years, something like that at least. So I'm excited to go check it out. I feel like last night after the game, I kind of hit the point where I just wanted to be home. I haven't really had that very often on this trip, but I was trying to find just like a sandwich, like a cold sandwich. It was hot and it was muggy, and you know, I've been just eating all this like ballpark food and fast food or whatever on this trip. I just wanted like a turkey sandwich, and I ran around after the game and just like couldn't find one. It was so frustrating that just, you know, it's those like little annoyances on the road that are starting to add up here at week 6. But I think a few days in Chicago will be a pretty good reset. And you know, it's nice to know that we're on the back side of this trip now. Try not to think more than about one day ahead at a time, just because, you know, the trip gets in some ways more dangerous as you get closer to the end if your mentals lapse a little bit. So trying to make sure we're not doing that. But when you have those moments where you think, okay, in 2.5 weeks I'm going to be done with this, that it's pretty amazing. So yeah, like I said, one day at a time though. We have to get to Chicago today, and that's really our only focus for now. And yeah, hopefully we've skipped any more weather at this point, and we can start warming up and drying off a little bit. We are in Chicago, settled into the hotel, and now we're headed down to the game. We're gonna go check out Wrigleyville for a little bit first, and then yeah, get into Wrigley pretty early so we can kind of get a good look around before the game starts. Right now we're just gonna grab the L and bop on over to Wrigley. Our first stop was to find the diviest bar in Wrigley to get what they call a Chicago Handshake, and that is a shot of Chicago liquor called Malort and an old style beer. People say Malort is not very good, and if you ever see the reaction videos on TikTok or the internet, you know people have a hard time drinking it. I found it, you know, not great, but okay, and certainly didn't have the reaction other people did. But I think, much like Cincinnati Chili, one and done is good for me. And then we walked down the street to Wrigley. Wrigley Field was opened in 1914, so it is the second oldest ballpark in all of baseball, next to Fenway Park. And along with Fenway Park is probably the most recognizable sports stadium in the world, I would say. Just the ivy and all of that. It is just so iconic, so memorable. And there's just so much history in this place as well. And it's, you know, holds up really well. It is a great spot to watch a baseball game. They also have their own set of bleacher creatures who sit and get rowdy in the outfield, just like Yankee Stadium as well. And just a beautiful night for a baseball game. 4th of July weekend, the Red Sox were in town for the first time in like a decade. Just an amazing way to watch a game. And for the only time in the entire trip, I actually get to come back for a second game the next day. All right, good morning, everybody. We are leaving a little early for the game because we are headed to the Logan Square Farmers Market, I think. I have an old friend who lives in town, so we're going to go grab some coffee there beforehand. Yeah, day 2 in Chicago. Couldn't be any nicer. I am excited for the day and to see another game at the friendly confines of Wrigley Park. So yeah, we'll get on the train and get our day started. This farmer's market was really fun, tons of great food, and it was topped off by getting the best empanada of my entire life that was made by a woman everyone just called Mama. And we're back on the L, headed to Wrigley once again. And I don't have a lot more to say here other than if you have a chance to see a Sunday afternoon game at Wrigley, it is a must do. So I'm going to end this video here and just leave you with the sounds of the iconic Harry Carey leading everyone and take me out to the ball game. See you next time.